Let's review some of the most important processes required for proper vision. The first one is refraction. Refraction is bending of light rays. There are many vision problems based on improper refraction. But let's look at what parts of the eyeball refract light. This is a normal eyeball. We call a normal eyeball emmetropic. So this is our emmetropic eye. The shape of the eyeball is correct. The curvature of the cornea and the lens is correct. And when light rays enter the eye, they are refracted and the focal point hits the retina directly. So this is what we want. This will give us our best ability to see images. That light bends whenever there's an interface between two media with different optical densities. What that basically means is when light travels from, say, air into something else with a different optical density, it will bend. Light bends when it goes from air into water. Light bends when it goes from air into the cornea. Light will also bend based on shapes. So notice that shape of the cornea contributes to the refractory power of the cornea. Same thing with the lens. The shape helps to refract the light. So there are three interfaces that refract light. One is when light goes from air to cornea, it bends. When the light goes from aqueous humor into the lens, it bends. And then when light leaves the lens and enters the vitreous humor, it bends. So light actually bends at three places. Right here at the cornea, right here at the lens, and as it exits the lens. Some causes of blurry vision are a thin or thick lens or a misshapen cornea. Other processes help make adjustment. Accommodation. Accommodation is changing the shape of the lens using your ciliary muscle to increase the refractory power, to bend light more. We have to do this when we view close images. So any image that's closer than 20 feet, we have to adjust the lens in order to increase our refraction. Number two, constriction. Constriction restricts light to an area over the greatest bulge of the lens. What this does is it prevents light from going around the lens or through outside portions of that lens. So constriction is due to your iris controlling the size of the pupil. The third adjustment is convergence of the eyes. Our eyes can medially rotate. So that allows us to put our eyes, both eyes, on a single object. So if you think about looking at an object, for example, close to your face, your eyes will move medially so that object will hit both maculas and we can have proper imagery. Next thing I want to talk about are some refractory disorders. These are the most common causes of blurry vision. We're going to be using these images and compare them to that emmetropic eye, that normal eye. The first refractory disorder is called myopia. Myopia, often called nearsightedness, is when you can see close objects clearly, but objects in the distance are blurry. The cause of this is a premature focal point. So as the light rays enter the eyeball, the focal point happens in front of the retina. There are two causes to myopia. One is an elongation of the eyeball. Compare the shape of this eye, the nearsighted eye, to the normal eye. It is elongated. Another cause might be a thick lens, which over-refracts the light rays. Now, the nice thing is this is easily corrected using glasses. The glasses must have a concave lens. A concave lens will bend the light out before the light enters the eye, compensating for this improper refraction. The next disorder is hyperopia. This is often referred to as farsightedness. This is where close objects are blurry, but distant objects are not. This is quite the opposite of myopia, where the focal point converges past the retina. One cause is a short eyeball, so these are largely anatomical problems. A short eyeball or a thin lens that doesn't bend the light enough. We can correct this by using a convex lens. Convex lenses will refract the light a little bit before it enters the eye. Notice in both corrected eyes, the focal point is hitting the retina properly. A third refractory disorder is called astigmatism. Astigmatism is an irregularity or unequal curvature of either the cornea or lens. Astigmatism leads to areas of the field of view that are blurry and areas that are crisp. So the key there is an irregularity in the field of view. There's a number of other eye disorders that are non-refractory. Glaucoma, which is a death of ganglion cells due to a high intraocular pressure. Cataracts. Cataracts is blurred vision due to cloudiness in the lens. And cataract surgery can remove that lens and replace it. There's macular degeneration, where the macula of the retina degenerates. There are genetic forms as well as age-related forms. There's color blindness, red-green color blindness being the most common. This is a genetic or inherited disorder. The next video, we're going to begin our discussion of the ear and hearing and equilibrium.